Yeah, we on Boss Talk 101. Yeah, we gon' talk, we gon' have fun. We be on fire, we be lit. It's a unique hustle. Big.
Check it. It's a unique host. It's your boy ECO, and I'm here with the lovely, amazing, official, outstanding Miss Jamaica. What's going on?
None, you know, my devil walk on. I want y'all to stop what you're doing right now. Go like, subscribe, follow us on all social media platforms. When I mean all, I mean our Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, you name it, we're on it. Just Google us, Boss Talk Podcast 101. We'll pop up first in line, I guarantee you. But y'all see us on the street and talk about, man, I love what y'all doing. How can we be a part of Boss Talk 101? This is how you can be a part of Boss Talk. Under each and every video, including this one right here in the description section below, there's a link that says join our membership. Click that link, follow all the instructions, and that's how you get to see all the exclusive content that y'all been asking us. Where is this interview? Where's that interview? That's where it is. Members only can see this. Thank you in advance, and we love you. Hey,
man, listen, I'm down here in Kansas City, Missouri. It's going down, man. I done had an extraordinary time, and I just pulled up. And as soon as I get here, I get to meet the governor. He's here, man, holding court.
Yeah.
I'm holding court. Yeah, I'm going to get that part. I don't know who that is. Standing trial. Yeah. Man, you know, man, thank you for coming on the show again, bro.
Yeah, man, thank you for having me. I think this, what, my fourth?
Fourth, yeah. And it's going to be a fifth and a sixth and a seventh. Long as I'm doing this.
But y'all got to come to me. See, it's one-sided right now.
I'm going to be honest with you. We got to go over there because I've never did an interview, and I guarantee yours probably going to be my first interview. You know what I mean?
Definitely, because people see y'all, but they don't know the backstory.
No,
like
they
that,
don't.
You know
they don't. I mean? But that's purposely done. You know,
I know it is. I know it is. I know it is.
Until we ready. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I
think it's because I just feel like we got so much work to do, and it's like a person getting ready for a wedding. Like, man, I'm like, man, we got to be ready. We got to make sure we can afford everything. We gonna, you know what I'm saying? That's the way you be thinking.
But not only that, for me, I'm thinking we will build up ourselves so much where everybody is so curious, so that whenever we do, it's not going to only benefit us, but it benefit whoever we do that interview with, because everybody's going to be tuning in like, man, I want to know this, I want to know that. You know what I mean? So it's like right now, I don't think people are as curious as they should or they could be. So that's over time, I think that's going to get built up.
Yeah, I think you leave bits and pieces of yourself, though.
Yeah, we do. We do that. I do that all the time.
Yeah.
I want to first of all, I want to say, man, your co-host is doing a tremendous job, man.
Yeah.
I love the new setup, man. Just seeing the way that you guys are moving, man, and grooving.
Thank you.
I think it's so, refreshing to see a father and a daughter team, unity, family.
Yeah.
I think that's so refreshing in this time, and the way we see all this stuff on the internet. Yeah. I just feel like that's so needed, man. So thank you, man, for even giving us that. You know what I'm talking about?
I appreciate it. I mean, shout out to my oldest daughter, Rachel Renee.
Man, go hard in the paint, man.
People love her, bro.
Oh, man.
People love her.
Yes.
I've had people, some of my No Limit brothers would be like, yeah, nigga, she the real star.
They do that. They say that about her, man. They playing you, man. You and her both, you got to have to.
Yeah, she is the real star.
I know, man.
But I got to ask, since you changed your set, and how has that affected the podcast? How do you view it, and how do other people? Do people come up to you and say, man, I like it better how it was, or I like it better how it is?
Yeah.
I want your point of view, and I want other people's point of view.
Oddly enough, people dig the more intimate setting at the house. You know what I mean? So the viewers have said that they love it. I've shared some of my technical struggles with y'all, what I mean, behind the scenes. So it's had its perks and its drawbacks too, because before with producer Ken, who, by the way, a lot of people ask me, they say, what's up with producer Ken? Where is he at? Is he still a part of the show? Producer Ken is my brother. He will always be a part of the show, but producer Ken working.
Of course, of course.
So he owns a real life production company. So he's traveling with the NBA and Capcom and all of that. So with that being said, we hadn't been able to get into the soundstage. So I said, man, let's go to the house. So we have select guests that come to the house. So with that, I had to hire, outsource.
Right.
I'm not as autonomous and independent as y'all, you know what I mean? And so that's the only drawback is, me having to learn and navigate the technical part of it, and not, having that support from producer Ken, who spoiled me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because when we saw it, we were like, at first, I was like, that looked like Court's house. Yeah. It could be.
I said,
he was like, nah, he ain't just gonna bring anybody to his house. You crazy? That can't be his house.
Yeah, certain guests can come to the house. I mean, Tank I had at the house, a couple other guests. Now, I will say, maybe some guests that I don't know like that.
Right.
I may go get an Airbnb.
Of course,
or something,
of course.
But the people I know come to the house.
The one thing
cool.
I can say is, man, it's just it looked like a more expensive channel now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of art in there, pianos and all kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, the button put it over there. You got the Oprah and them watching now. We getting Oprah and Robert Smith and all of those, the elite group, the Zuckerbergs may be watching, trying to understand the father and daughter team, man.
I like to show a little bit. Every now and again I may show my cars and give a little. I'm not really a flashy person, but we in the visual age. It's a time and place for it, and I think so, because I don't want my brand is me for real. You know what I mean? It's just me being me. Mm-hmm. So I try to balance. I don't want to come off so contrived where it's always just sell, market. You want to kind of show a human component, So that's why I kind of, this is y'all kind of see where my space is or how my day to day is a little bit, because even though, like y'all do it, even though y'all in front of millions of people all the time, they still don't know a whole lot about you, Yeah. So we still try to protect a level of anonymity, or you try to keep some shit to yourself.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So I don't mind showing a little bit,
I gotta ask this. Yeah. So I see sometimes you post workouts or in the gym. Sometimes, you're driving your nice car or
of course.
Different things. And I know that when you're doing interviews, you're not gonna attract the ratchet and all of that. But you're gonna have those women be like, because you don't ever show your wife. You show your kids and stuff like that. But I know some of those females probably in the DM be like, "Are you available? You fine? This."
You know what? I get asked that all the time. I would say females, women, they compliment me, right? I do get the compliments.
That's their way of trying to get in.
That's what my wife said. Right? That's what my wife said. No, I get the compliments and stuff, which I am, I'm grateful for. But every now and again, it may be somebody to say something like just straight up. I've had some.
What's the crazy?
I had two.
Okay, if you can talk about it.
I can.
Okay, go ahead.
I had one young lady hop in my DM and just say, "What's up on that dick?" She just said it. What's up on that dick? I was like, okay. I blocked her. Then, so the movie I did, I had a love scene.
That kissing scene.
Yeah, the kissing scene. So that was a rehearsal, right? And a chick got it. And I want to get super. But she was just basically like, I just watched that. And it made me feel some kind of way.
Oh,
and
man.
I'll fuck the shit out you.
Oh,
and
man.
this is going to end it with respectfully. You know what I mean? Respectfully. So other than that, I just get complimented, But I do get the woman attention.
How did your wife feel about that kissing scene when she saw you post it?
Or
did you tell her about it before it came?
Come on, man. I had to, she run shit. I had to clear that.
Oh, he had to clear that.
I had to clear it before I did
Before you did it.
I already knew that.
Yeah. So when I got the script, and I said, I said, okay. So I just said, wifey, I said, so I got a kiss, not only one, but two chicks. Because I got two love scenes with two different women.
Okay.
And so she was like, all right, what you going to be doing?
I was about to say, how far is it going to go?
I said, well, no, it's not like no soft porn stuff, but it's insinuated, but it'll be tasteful. Mm-hmm. She was like, all right, just make sure your breath don't stink. You know what I mean? So when I did it and they sent that part of it, I was like, I wanted to get her opinion because I'm gonna be honest with you. I was more concerned about it looking authentic,
right?
Because the lady that I did it with, she was super professional, right? She was a consummate professional, but there wasn't. I'm gonna say it wasn't a chemistry kind of. We had to act it, right? And so I sent it to my wife. I was like, "Does this look real?" And she was like, I mean, you did all right. You did all right. I said, but does it look okay? Does it look fake? She said, nah, it looks good. So my wife is very secure,
That's good.
As she should be. I'm gonna tell y'all something. It's funny. Like when we were younger and we was trying to come up, we didn't have much money. So she knew that women kind of liked me. Right. So we would go to certain restaurants And so she would braid my hair, like fix me up, right? And then she'd be like, okay, now go in there. And she'd be like, and get me some extra fish and some extra chicken, because she knew they would flirt with me and put extra stuff in there. So she would tell me what to get her. So, and then make sure
she knew the game.
She knew the game, you know. And so I remember we would laugh, and I'd be like, man, is you low key pimping me? Like, what are you doing?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So wifey, she's that's the wind beneath my wings. Like, real talk, I wouldn't be where I was if it wasn't for her, you know.
How come you never tried to like interview her or put her on camera or anything like that?
That's not her personality.
She doesn't want to.
My wife is, you know, she's got a master's degree. She's a professional. She's so not the arts and like this.
Right.
You know what I mean? She's kind of she's shy. You know, she don't. You put the camera on her and she gonna clam up like
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that just. But she did say the other day. She said, well, I forgot what we were talking about. It may have been something relationship wise. And she said, you know what? She said, I should come on and we should talk about that.
Wow.
And so I said, well, you know, our kids are working. You know, my son works BTS. My youngest daughter works BTS, and she does my daughter's makeup and she styles my daughter. I said, you know, whenever you want to do it, we can do it.
That's so live. I think that's that's the key, man.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like God ain't gonna do nothing but bless it.
Yeah.
And that's the whole game.
The other part too, like I was talking to my barber the other day, and that's why I love you guys' relation. I love how y'all work together. The thing is, you know, a lot of couples, man, they get lost. Like, even though y'all work together, y'all still have your own identities. Right, you're not tethered to each other so much to where you get lost. So me and my wife, I think how we've been able to sustain is she is on her own person. She has her own aspirations and dreams, and I support her in that. And she does the same for me, even though they're very separate. You know what I'm saying? So she's not like trying to swerve over and be in my world, and you know, oh, I want to be, you know, and I don't swerve over to her world, you know. So I think is that's what makes it work with us. We just know how to support each other. I show up to her, you know, she functions with her, you know what I mean? And it's doctors and, you know, nurse practitioners, which is what she is and all of that. And, you know, I just support her, and they kind of look at me like, how did this happen? You know what I mean?
But it's the thing for me, I don't know if it's the same for you, but I remember we've been together 22 years, and when I lost my dad, this is when I had my revolution. I was like, I got lost in him, not realizing I did, because a lot of times when you meet somebody and you get married, it's all about that person. I want to know everything you like. I never used to like playing pool or, you know, looking at old school cars or whatever, but because he liked it, I'm going to start trying to like it. And of course I started enjoying it. But after a while I looked at myself and I was like, what did I used to like doing? Where did I want to go? It was all about what he wanted to do. And I'd had no problem doing that because I learned to love everything that he loved. Yeah. But I realized that I lost my identity in a lot of different ways. Yes, I still did everything to my best of my abilities, but what do I want to do? And another reason why, I had a friend that lost her husband, and after she lost him, she didn't know how to function. Yeah. And that scared me. Yeah. You know, because I'm like, God forbid, I don't ever want to lose him. Yeah. You know, but if I did, I'm like, I don't want to be handicapped. Right. I want to know how to be able to function, how to, even my mom, when she lost my dad, is like, she sat at home and I'm like, she didn't have a life. I'm like, Mom, now's the time you need to figure out what makes you happy.
That's a fact. And you'd be surprised. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Go ahead.
You'd be surprised at how many people don't understand that. Like, people would look at my wife and I like we were crazy because it was innate for us, right? It just happened like that because we just, like, we would go to the gym together. We go to the same gym. We would leave the house and drive separate cars because afterwards we're doing separate shit. You know what I mean? So we just never believed in just being tethered to each other like that, because think about it. We're all born in this world by ourselves. You know, we're still walking our individual paths. We're just doing it together. But my path is my path. Your path is your path, you know. And organic, like what you were saying with E, that's organic, right? of course, when you're around someone and you building and you lifing with them, you're going to take on attributes of them. It's certain stuff that I go to church every Sunday. I didn't grow up in the church. That's my wife's influence. She grew up in the church.
Right.
And then it got to, it was like pulling teeth to get me in church. You know what I mean? Now I low key be looking forward to it. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you know, the donuts is good too. You know, but so I think when it's organic, it's cool. I think, you know, it can be a problem when you go out of your way and you're trying to please that person to become who you think they want you to be. That's where the problem
I agree with that 100%.
You know?
I think identity is and evolution is very real. You're not the person you was when you was getting made up and she was braiding you up, and then the next thing you know, this phase come, that phase come. These are phases of life.
Yep.
So this is not something where, oh, I did it all this way. Like for you say, oh, I did it all this way for that time period. But it was a lot of moving and shaking for me. You know, I was going out here, whether it was leaving every weekend, hustling, you know what I'm saying? And the kids was younger. You got to look at that too.
Yep.
It's all phases, man. But the main ingredients is God.
Right.
That's the main ingredients.
Right.
Everything else you can maneuver, but without God, you can't maneuver.
That's a fact.
And I think that's what keep us going. And I think that's what a lot of people lack. And that's why they say, like that kid I talked to with my daughter, he was like, no, man, marriage, that's not real. People can't be married like that. They look at us like this can't happen no more. When you talk to the kids now, they don't believe in this. And the thing I'll go back to is, I tell my daughter, if you put God first, if you find somebody who love God, who can, you know, respect and reverence God with you, then I think it'll work. I don't think nothing's too big for God, bro.
I agree. I think too, nowadays they have to contend with things that we didn't. They have social media, easy access. Of course, they feel like they got options and different things like that. But everything is really, to me, in my opinion, very transactional. You know, like think about it. Back in our day, we liked you. It was that. It wasn't all these other things attached to, you know, oh, you got to have this many followers or what type of money you got, where you can take me to eat. Nah, it was very innocent. I like you, you know. So it has to be built on, the foundation has to be built on love. You see, because you got to think, when I got with my wife, I was 15. I was a kid. I didn't have nothing to offer. She was older than me, and she was already had a checking account in college. You know, she was already responsible. So I had nothing to offer, but she saw the potential in me. So if she had to judge me in real time, you know what I mean? And so, but she saw something in me before anybody did. Shit, before I did. Because I ain't gonna lie, and to this day, I still feel like she's too good for me.
Wow.
But back then, I definitely felt like that. I was like, you know, you slumming, right? You know that, right? I got my suspicions you can do better than this. You know what I mean? But she was like, nah, she hated when I used to say that, right? But she was right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And as I grew, you know, she saw what my potential was. But, you know, we've been in the middle. Life is life. Right?
I just told you
So
that.
when it's transactional, it can't be that. So if it's predicated on what I can do for you and what you can do for me, well, what happens when we hit that bad time? So what? It all go to shit because I can't buy you what I bought you when I was up.
Right.
You know, so.
But I got to ask this. You said that she introduced you to the church because you never used to go to church before. Since you've been going to church and her influence on you spiritually, how do you feel that your life has changed, you know, with God?
That's a great question. I can't say that I'm more spiritual. I don't really necessarily I don't really like the religion part, you know what I mean? But her influence on me, I used to say a lot of the times, man, my wife and my kids, but mainly my wife, has saved a lot of people, you know what I mean? And we both influence each other, you know, in varying degrees in a good way. I think I think I've become more civilized and more peaceful. And I think, and after my mother passed away, I think the grief was so, you know, devastating. That helped me too. Cause I couldn't wrap my head around in grief thinking that was it, you know, like she's just gone.
Yeah.
So that's it.
How old was she when she passed?
My mother was 56 and I was 33. Yeah. And so,
was it an illness?
Kind of, sort of. She had my mother had high blood pressure, and she had hypothyroidism, and she was born with kind of an enlarged heart. But my mother wasn't overweight or obese or anything like that. But I think she kind of sunk into some depression, and she was not really taking her medication like she should. So she was kind of non-compliant. And I think it was just a perfect storm, you know. And I think that hypothyroidism, which had her kick off into what they called an arrhythmic heart attack. So it killed her. So after she passed, I was like, man, it got to be something bigger, you know, and that helped. And then influenced, because my wife is a Bible thumper, you know, she prays, she got a prayer mat, you know what I mean? So
I think that's something that, you know, like I said, that right there, man, it's a scripture that talks about the Ark of the Covenant being left in Obed-Edom's house. And this is a place where this was the thing that pretty much connected the people to God. So when you got somebody like that that's tied to God, that's praying for you when you ain't even praying for yourself, that's fact. Heavy, man.
That's a fact.
That's heavy. That's that ark. That's that light. You might not even notice it because it just covers you.
Yeah.
It's there.
Yeah.
And I think that part right there, sometimes because you can't see it, people don't really look at it and be like obvious of it being there.
Yeah.
Does that make sense to you?
It does. I don't take the credit, bro. Because I tell people I wasn't that prolific of a criminal. You know what I mean? I was good, but I wasn't that good. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it was people praying for me.
Come on, man.
You know what I mean? I know that. And mainly my wife as well. You know, like I'm telling you, and you got to think, you know, she was the good girl attracted to the bad boy, you know what I mean? So, you know, some of the things, she knows a lot of stuff I've done, you know, and she would just be like, Jesus, and she just pray for me.
I gotta ask you, going back to the show, I seen that you had interviewed Zero, man. How was that, man? I mean, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I always see Zero, and we seen him, we spoke to him because of propane and just in the same room, and we're like, hey, what's up? But a lot of times when you see the character versus the just you know, the music, you trying to build an understanding of how this guy ticks. Very talented dude.
Yes.
Always focused when it come down to lyrics. You can't get around him on a hook. He crazy with it. You could put him up there with the Nate Dogs and all of them just on the hook, and the rhyme scheme is just as cold.
That's right.
So how did you end up connecting with him, and how was that interview for you?
I had to so Echo connected me with him.
Okay.
And so she reached out and she was like, you know, Zero, you know, he liked your show. He want to come to the show. And so the funny thing about it, the fans, they were like, man, this is really different. We've never seen Zero smile like this, you know? But I knew what I was dealing with going into it, right? I get the personality, you know what I mean? He's an only child. He's a loner. You know, and so I knew how to he had to warm up to me.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying?
I've done those interviews.
Yeah. So probably about 50 minutes in.
Of course. I've done those interviews.
Up, you know, and so, but I understand him. You know, I'm a fan of the music, and he's very transparent in his music, you know, and so I get it. You know, Zero is who he is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, and he's consistent. So I knew how to navigate him. But yeah, I didn't realize it. To the fans was saying like, hey, like we never seen him that jovial and smiling and, you know, with it like that.
So you like the way the interview flowed after you? It's sometimes like a boxing match.
Yes, it is.
You're trying to figure out how to make this happen the way you want it to happen. Yes. And that's the challenging part that nobody talks about in podcasting.
Yeah, exactly.
That every time you see us or Charlemagne or any of these people, whoever it may be, trying to understand how to get this to go, whether they trying to start mess, whether they trying to keep it real, whatever they trying to do, they really trying to connect with the audience.
That's a fact. It's a skill set.
It is. And so I think a lot of times people don't think of that. They just watching it. Oh, he cut him off. Oh, he did this. Yeah. They don't understand a lot of this stuff because we have like all these dang interviews. I mean, I got 5,000 some interviews. Right now, if I can't do it now,
that's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, me and you was talking about it. You was talking about that. Like people think, and you do have some people that cut folks off. Nori, he cut folks off, right? He cut folks off. But sometime with us, like we were saying, man, we have to. It's good. Oh, sometimes we have to, kind of, you may have somebody long-winded. They get to kind of repeating themselves.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, I'm running up time. And you got to kind of bogart in there to redirect the conversation.
That's right.
So it's not necessarily us that know what we're doing. We're not cutting them off. We're redirecting the conversation.
Exactly, because a lot of times they're not understanding the flow of it. And then I do clips, which even make it worse because you don't know what part that I cut where I came back in at.
Yeah.
So I know that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I remember one of the worst ones where everybody was like, man, he keep cutting Mike Jones. Boy, that was the one right there.
Yeah.
Boy, they were mad at me. Everybody, man, why you keep cutting him off?
Yeah.
Man, let him talk. And I'm like, man, the conversation goes, but then it's something that sways.
Yep.
And I'm like, I'm not digging the conversation as much as I think. Whether it's me doing a bad job of trying to direct it and trying to understand how to maneuver it, or whether it's him trying to get comfortable, like you said, it's a lot going on when you conversate on a podcast, bro.
I think it's understand. I'm sorry,
Go ahead.
to you, but I think it's understanding what. It really works when you understand what you're trying to get, and when and you understand what they're trying to get.
That's it.
You see what I'm saying?
That's it right there.
So it's like, okay, what are we doing here? What is the mission? I don't like to just, talk. I don't bring guests on just to talk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it may seem like that, but there still has to be a goal. Is there a narrative? Is there something? What are we doing here? So
I think the main thing you got to understand, man, is just to even get up and do this takes a lot of courage.
It does.
I'll be honest, because you're opening up and doing different. Now, it's a lot of them, and I don't knock them. They sit behind the camera, and that's cool too.
Yep.
But I didn't care. I want to talk. I want to make sure you understand this conversation is it's definitely a dialogue, and we're trying to figure it out together, But at the end of the day, I think it's different styles. I think both of them are needed.
Yeah.
Because some of them isolate things like the one others do, like Vlad and all those guys, they isolate it to Sean Cotton say cheese to the person while they're talking. And I like that too. Yeah. I'm actually trying to do one like that as well that I've been working on too.
Yeah, that's dope.
On my other B channel, But the one thing I can say about you though, you don't stop, bro. You still keep going. And then I liked the one what you did with Crazy Bone. Crazy Bone, and he had been sick.
Yeah, that's so the second time.
Yeah, that was the second. I know, but the first time he wasn't sick before you interviewed him. So this next time, what was different for you on this one?
Man, that one was special, because again, Bone is family, and Lay, Busy, Wish, Flesh, Cray. And Cray has been the one that came on twice,
Okay.
And so, I was really concerned about him, when he was sick, like for real. And as I said, my wife is a praying woman. She was really praying for him, like she been knowing him 30 years.
Of course.
But to some degree, yes, vicariously through his music, she had, So it was cool to have him come on the show and recount what had went on with him. And he was very, very transparent. And I'm really interested to hear their new album because, he's kind of going, I'm not going to say going through a soul searching period because I think he knows who he is. But, he's on a different page. He's on a very spiritual, positive page, So I was trying to see if there was a little difference with him. I think per how I knew him before and when he came on the first time compared to the second time, he seemed to be very, very focused and purpose. Purpose driven. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
more so now than he was before.
Now. Yes, more so now. And he was standing on his principles and his understanding of, wanting to help people, help the kids, the things he's doing in Cleveland with his Spread the Love Foundation. And like even with the Bone Thugs and Harmony, they in the studio right now. And so I asked him, I'm like, hey, how y'all gonna navigate? Because I know where you are, but you are Bone Thugs and Harmony. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, no, they're my brothers. If they want to do, get something off their chest and still keep it thugging, I won't be on the song because I don't want to rap about things that I rapped about back then. I think we should move forward, and rap about things that matter. I shouldn't say things that matter, but things that are applicable to where they are in their lives.
I agree. I like that.
What I'm saying? I'm curious to see how they do that. And I really think they're all kind of on the same page.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And they can still do their edgy stuff, you know what I mean? But I know Lay is my partner. We actually working on the show together. So I think they gon', you know what I mean? I think it'll be dope. Bone is family. So
yeah. What you want to go?
I gotta ask you, because if it wasn't for you, I would not know who this person was.
Who's that?
Bentley Kyle Evans.
Yes.
I mean, we watch Martin all the time.
Of course.
And Jamie Foxx show.
I've seen that too.
People don't ever think about who wrote this.
Exactly.
They just think that these people go up here and it's all funny and everything like that.
Yeah.
So I know you got some gems from him. Give me something out of the stories that he gave you that was so mind blowing to you.
Well, so I tell you one, and shout out to Bentley Kyle Evans, man, such a great dude. He hired my youngest daughter, Courtney, to work behind the scenes in production on it, because he's like the West Coast Tyler Perry. He's got his own sound stage, his own TV shows, his own distribution, all of that, right?
Wow.
So he hired my youngest daughter. But now he told me the story of how, because y'all remember the DMV part from Martin when he was at the DMV.
Yeah.
And remember he came up to him and he was like, "You so almondy."
Yeah.
So that was Bentley that played that part.
No.
Yeah.
You gonna make me go back and look.
So he was the writer.
Yeah, that was him, the one that played the kind of.
Yeah, he was the tall dude.
The tall dude.
You a tough piece of leather.
That's
right.
right.
Show put together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was him. Now that I think of it, sure was.
That was him. So what happened? So this is what he told me in the interview. I said, well, man, it's still, it's popular on TikTok. And he was like, because he was the showrunner and the writer, right? And so he was like, I don't know, he said Martin was tripping one day and just kind of on one. And so he said he came in his office and, did that little voice messing with him. And he said Martin kind of snapped at him, like, man, don't be playing. Stop playing. You know what I mean? What is that? So he was like, all right, I'm just messing with you. So he said he went back to his office and then he gets called. And he was like, uh-oh, I know I'm finna get fired. I know they finna fire me now. And he said Martin told him, hey, man, do that character. Do that. And he was like, hell no, I'm not doing it. He was like, come on, man. Dude, I wear a dress. I play N9ne. You can do that character. He said, so that's how it came about. And you can hear Tommy laughing in the background super loud.
Yeah.
But he said he kind of got it from Little Richard.
Wow.
Because Little Richard had came on the show. And he had said to Martin, you're a tough piece of leather, So he said he kind of,
wow.
But because he wrote those, did somebody give him the ideas of what they wanted for the show, or did he come up with the whole concept of both shows?
No. So what happened was him and Martin, they met, right? They were friends, and so Martin saw the potential in him, and so. No, what happened was Martin told him, hey, listen, bro, you want to go on this journey with me? Like, I'm finna come up. What you want to do? And so he thought he wanted to be an actor or something. He said, nah. I want to be in that writing room. And he said, Martin was like, what? He's like, nah, I want to be in that writing room. So he said Martin took him to, the meeting for the Martin show. But Martin loked up on him because he wasn't confident. And Martin knew what he wanted. You know what I'm saying? And he said after they left, Martin told him, look, man, don't never do that. Like you supposed to be in there. Quit being scary. You know what I mean? He said, and if you want to come with me on this thing, you're going to have to man up. So that's how, he ended up writing Martin and then going on to do the Jamie Foxx show.
So he gave him the idea of the show.
No,
that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Not the idea. I'm not sure how the idea. No, the network wanted to. They already had.
That. That's what I was trying to figure out.
Had the
and he just wrote it all together.
Yes.
That's what I was trying to figure out. Did he come up with a concept of it?
No.
That's okay.
No,
cool.
the network
that's all
had an idea.
That's what I wanted to know.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Wow. The one, I just watched, I want to say it was Mike Epps on The Breakfast Club, and he said that they're going to do a last Friday.
Yeah.
And you have connections with B.B. Drake.
Yeah,
right?
that's grandma.
what did she say about it? And do you think that she'll be on the new one? Or just give me, and also talk to me about that interview.
Yeah, Bebe Drake, I love her. I've actually, shout out to Bebe Drake. She lost her son recently.
Wow.
And we've been talking, and I've been encouraging her because it's been rough for her. So, sending her love and prayers and condolences. She's such a sweet lady and such a ferocious lady. She fires, she's sprying a motherfucker, you know what I mean? But she was saying, when I asked her, she didn't think that Ice Cube wanted to do another Friday.
Okay.
She was like, I don't think he wants to do it. Because she was like, they just never ready. They've been, what it been 20 years since the last one, but having her on the show, bro, that was legendary. Her show did amazing. And I told her, I said, are you seeing this? People love you. Because she's only done my show. I think she did my show, and I think she may have done Arsenio or something in the 90s. Other than that, it was just my show.
That's hard.
Yeah.
I love that.
And shout out to her grandson. He's the one that connected the dots. And mind you, this was about 2 years in the making.
Wow.
Because he was hitting me like, he was hitting me like, man, such and such and such and such. Then when I went and looked her up, I said, oh, yeah, that'll be dope. But she wasn't ready because, see, she's old school. So they like, nah, unless I got something going on, then,
that's
then
most
I'm
people.
going to come talk.
Most of the old people.
Most of the older people, right? But he convinced her like, nah,
You have a story.
Man, when I tell you the fanfare, we went viral with her a couple times. She's got some videos that's 2 million, 3 million, and on like Facebook, and so people love her. She's like the generation's grandmother, and I don't even know if she knew that.
Yeah.
I'm talking about every comment. I love her. Oh wow. So. That makes me feel good, and that's why I created the platform. I wanted to give people her flowers, and I literally gave her flowers.
I saw that.
I literally gave her flowers, and we've connected, and I talk to her often.
Man, I love it, bro. Like I said, I just that I'd like to see, if Ice Cube gonna bring her on that last Friday.
Miss Pearly.
Yeah, I'd like to see, and I'm pretty sure he will.
He
man.
should.
I think he will.
What was your favorite part with Miss Pearly in that movie? What part?
Man.
Tell your dad I said hi.
Hold on. That's what you.
Nah. When she was snapping on him and she said, "You toenail biting bitch." And then when she told him, she said, "Shut up, somebody like it."
Yeah, I like when she said the police all up in here. She was on it, man.
Yeah.
I like when she was went in the house and she's trying to steal the weed, and the dog bit him.
She said, "Oh, weed." And then she grabbed the condom and she was like, "Wishful thinking."
Yeah. She was on it, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, I want to see her back on the new one. I would love to see that.
Yeah.
I want to go into now. You took me through the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Showed me. You know what I'm saying? Where you used to be at, all the different things that was going on, man. I want to tell you, I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Went over there where y'all used to get it popping at. Now, what was the name of the guy that owned that? Because I forgot that fast. The guy that was running the park over there.
Oh damn! See, because you forgot, you done made me.
I done forgot his name, man.
Damn, and I know.
And I'm gonna need it too.
I got
you. Got it?
No, Pat Clark.
All right, let's get to it.
I told you it was a P.
Yeah. Let's get to it.
Yeah.
So, hey, man, like I said, man, really today, like I said, going back over to your old neighborhood on your old block, like. And I don't know how often you get to go by there because you're always busy, always traveling, always working. Like, just how was the going back? Do you go back often?
I do. Yeah.
All the time? You have relatives over there still?
I got relatives, and I own a bunch of property in Kansas City.
I got you.
Yeah.
So you just go back to just kind of ride in and chime in.
Yeah. I go back, check my traps, what I'm saying, and take care of some business and see family. But yeah, man, listen, I be telling people, like, a lot of these cats to get on social media, man. Like, that's the thing about social media. People can create personas. They can become, people will know they lying and know them, but the rest of the world believe it.
That's right.
They history be a mystery. So you got to see firsthand. That I'm really that and really from
man,
that. I like when you said the governor. That was I like that.
People coming up and hugging you and saying, "Hey man, that's Court, man. Big Court dog." You hearing all the names, man. You getting all the names, man. That's when you Man, it was just like a lot of love, bro.
Yeah.
And I love seeing that, man, because that's all we trying to do, man. We trying to give people something to say, hey, man, if I could do it, you could do it, man. We can do it together, man.
That's all I wanted to. That's why people ask me, like, why I always have on the 4, in my pictures. That's because that's the neighborhood I'm from the 40s, from the 4 block. But see, I want to inspire those that are still there, kids from my neighborhood that watch me and might look up to me and they see, damn, he's from right here. And they can see the possibilities, like, damn, he's from right here. And we see him doing movies and with the celebrities, and he live in LA, he's successful and all of that. So that's why I take it with me and represent like that, right? So, but like the neighborhood, that's the neighborhood, the city that made me, even though I've been in LA for 22 years, and mind you, LA is home too, but this is home, this is where it all started.
The guy, was it Pat?
Pat Clark.
Pat Clark, like, Pat Clark. Okay, just the way he's developed that area.
Yes.
You look at, most people don't even put time. He has his heart into that.
He does, yeah.
And you can see it because of the things that's transpiring in those areas, man. Yeah. And just looking back from where it was when you was there to now, can you see the changes in what's happening?
Oh man, definitely. And what we didn't talk about, because we didn't go dark with the conversation, is how many bodies that have been found in that park when we were growing up. That park, that same part that I pointed to you, is the part where my childhood friend got killed in front of us.
Wow.
It was an accidental shooting, but it happened right there.
Right there.
And he died right on that hill.
Man.
Right there. You know what I mean? So, but mostly it was all good memories in the park, but what Pat has done is phenomenal. Like, he's really wrapped his arms around the community and the neighborhood. And I wish we would have had that full court when we was kids. Man, it got a scoreboard, bleachers, man.
Oh yeah, he got it looking good down there, man.
And he got security.
And the fact he has order,
Yeah.
But that's what we got to do in our communities. It takes a village. We have to police our own, communities. And I try to do what I can from a distance. I'm in LA, there's and see, this is the knock that the haters, because I don't advertise what I do, because I don't do it for those reasons. There are basketball teams, there are football equipments, things that I sponsor quietly.
There you go.
Because I know the coaches, they from the streets. I grew up with them. You know what I mean? But that ain't nothing that I do to, tell them it's me, put my logo on there. No, it's not about that. Shh. Got that. That's God. That's God working through me.
Come on, man.
You know what I mean? So I try to do what I can in the neighborhood and show up. Me and Pat, he's asked for me to use my influence on different things, and I'm always of service to him.
Man, I think that's extraordinary, man. Yeah. Like I said, and like I said, even the store, like in the barbershop, we got a freestyle. What was that freestyle in Wizard?
Romeo Rynell, man.
Romeo still trying to go down through there, man.
Romeo Rynell, man. Romeo Rynell is a legend. He was one of the first ones from the city doing it on the party scene. Romeo was always about the party and the women, you know what I'm saying? He used to cut my hair as a kid. That was all organic. Like,
and he also brought P down the first time.
He did. He brought P. He was the first person I ever heard Master P's name from. I never forget it. He was cutting my hair. I'm like 11, 12, maybe 13. And he's like, yeah, because he was always throwing a party. Yeah. And he was catching these cats, E40 and them, like when they was first coming up.
Of course.
Yeah, he was tied in with the Bay Area way back then. So he was like, yeah, I'm going to bring Master P. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't care. I don't even know who that is. I'm a kid. I don't give a who's that? So it wouldn't be, but probably it was maybe about 4 years later that I would actually connect with P. You know? But that was the first time I heard P was from Romeo Rynell.
Wow. I also want to just say, hey, man, listen. That whole situation on that corner, in the front of them houses, you told me Johnny Taylor. That was the highlight for me when you told me Johnny Taylor stayed next door to that house, the house I grew up you grew up in. Johnny Taylor was there, and then your other partner, what was his name?
JoJo.
JoJo was next door to him. Y'all understand Johnny Taylor, man?
Yes,
man. It's a whole different level, man.
He was that guy.
He's still that guy.
He's still that guy.
You know what I'm saying? Like whether he here or not, that music gonna live forever, man.
I've been hearing his name for years since I was a kid.
You didn't even know who he was.
We were too young. He would be over there. Like my people would be like, "Oh, Johnny's over here. Johnny's over here," and I'm, all right, yeah. We was too young.
One thing I love the structure of a lot of the houses here, and a lot of color. Everybody loves to paint their houses different color, but it's pretty to me because I love color.
Yeah.
So it's just, I've never been to any other city. I've seen some similar in New Orleans type, but no, this is just totally different, but I love it.
Yeah, no, this is where I was born and raised, man. I learned so much in that neighborhood. You know, I learned how to, be a man in that neighborhood. You got to think, I was an only child. See, I'm bigger than everybody now, but growing up, I was always the runt because I was younger than everybody. So I was the little kid running in behind everybody. So so that made me go harder in everything, whether it was sports, whether it was fighting, whatever. I always felt like I'm trying to keep up, So, but the neighborhood, when I tell you, like, it was really a community. Man, it used to be cracking when we was young. It was we was playing stickball, baseball, bats, foot. On Sundays, you would have thought it was a Super Bowl because where we parked at and where that basketball goal is, that's the bottom of the park. So we're like 4 block, but you got 4-4 and 4-5, which are those blocks. Those are our friends too. But the park divides us. Of course. So when we played football, it was us up
against
here at
them.
the top against them. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, I got to ask you about your partner, Master P, man, and the ventures and just how is he doing,
Yeah.
Is he doing okay? Like, what's going on with y'all? We going to get another tour. I know it last time you brought me up and I got to be on stage with everybody and I had a great time.
That's the first time ever we've been on backstage on
was
that
the
show.
first one?
That's the first one.
Yeah. And then after that, we got busy, didn't we?
Yeah.
That you started us off, man.
No, was it? Did that one come before Sean Paul or Sean Paul?
I think that one came before Sean Paul.
Okay, yeah.
And then after that, we went to Sean Paul. Then after that, from Boosie to Key to you turned us up, man.
Okay, all right.
So you turned.
I'm doing my part.
You and Silk. I gotta give Silk the Shaka his credit because he was calling me.
Right.
Yeah. I got you when you get there.
Straight. Yeah. We had to make sure. We always appreciate when y'all come out,
man. I enjoyed it, bro. Thank you, man, because everything I've done in this whole podcast world, you've always been supportive of me ever since we met, man.
1,000%.
And I appreciate it. I want to talk to you about N9ne.
Okay.
That's we come down here to show N9ne love because I always said I'm coming down here. I'm gonna get Tech. I gotta ask you, how did you even meet N9ne the first time?
Man, I met Tech probably 30 plus years ago. You know what I mean? Tech has always been a phenomenal talent. He started off as a break dancer. Tech is one of one, you know what I mean? And when we met, because again, like I said, to my point, Tech is older than me.
Of course.
See, all my peers, all my rapping peers from the 90s are all older than me. They're all 3 to 4 or 5 years older, which when you think about it is a big gap when you're younger. You know what I mean? So Tech was, he's always been who he is. And like I said, Tech is from the blood side.
Okay.
Tech and Juan and Black Walt, they're all from the blood side, the 5'5", 5'7", the Road Dogs from the 50s. Where y'all came in the 40s was all, was the Crip side. So that didn't really matter for real, but I always admired Tech because he never quit. He never stopped. He's had so many false starts. Tech had hooked up with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis with Perspective Records in the early 90s. This is before any of us.
Yeah, I seen your interview. I watched your interview. It was a dope interview, even though it was virtual.
Thank you.
That was annoying to me.
It was. That's why I never done it again.
Yeah, but
we don't like virtual.
But it was dope. The questions you never. I seen him. And you were so excited in the interview. You could tell it was so organic. And then I tell you that, and I was like, man, that's the one right there.
Yeah.
I wish it would have been like in studio. You was in studio, and he was on virtual, but he was giving you everything, man.
Because the thing, the history is rich, and him coming, just watching him persevere. See, people see the millions and they see everything now, but you don't see the by the time, Strange really got popping, I don't know, maybe about 10 years ago. So you didn't see the 25 years that he put in before he got to now. The false starts, the J-Core deal, the MSC deal, the Fontana situation, all these things, and then dealing with, rest in peace to the homie Diamond Shields, having to navigate that with Travis O'Gwen and figuring out all that. Then trying to bring his homies along too. He, Tech put on, he brought on Big Scoob and Snug Brim and, these guys, he looked out for the Bloods, you know what I mean? He did. And so in the Road Dogs, Road Dogs had a couple summers where they dominated down here.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And so, and I said it out loud, Tech really did look out for the Bloods. But, you know what I mean? He did. So what he's been able to do, and then, I didn't even mention it to you, but I did a whole expose at Strange yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
I saw you posted something about it because I saw all those cars in the background.
That
and
was
stuff.
all Travis O'Gwen, the CEO president of Strange, Tech's partner. I spent 9 hours over there. I interviewed him and I took a tour of all their 5 buildings.
Really?
Yeah, state of the art studio. So it makes me proud because we never had nothing like that here. You know what I mean? Like Strange is a powerhouse. It's one of the most successful independent labels. And when you understand the record industry, like I was telling my partner Derek, they're completely and 100% autonomous. A lot of these labels, not shitting on them, but if you look at Yo Gotti and you look at Gucci Mane, you look at Cash Money, they have a machine behind them. They have budgets behind them, right? Strange is autonomous. They have no big brother. So when you see everything that they're doing, it's them doing it.
Wow.
There's not a budget fronted to them and then recouped. You see what I'm saying? So when you see these 5 buildings that they have, when you see, the 10 million in cars, you see the state of the art studios, and it's right here in Kansas City. They didn't move it nowhere else.
That's hard.
So,
So is that just a showroom that he has with all those cars? Why he has all those cars?
That's one.
Because you said 5 buildings. What does he have in all 5 buildings?
Okay, so you have
Yeah,
Strange.
because I don't think I'm going to make it through 5 buildings.
You have Strange Music,
Okay.
right? Then you have Strange Land.
What is
Then
in
you
Strange Land?
Strange Land might be, so Strange Music is where
studios and stuff.
No, that's where the offices are, and they have the receiving. No, they have like the merch. They have a big ass warehouse for merch.
Okay,
I'm talking about a big one, right?
Right.
And then they have Strange. What'd I say? Strange
Land. And
that
I'm trying
might
to
be
figure
where
out
the
what that
studios are. They have They have several state of the art studios in there.
Okay.
Strange Box is where the cars are stored.
Okay.
And you have. Then it's another Strange. I don't remember.
And those
the
are
name.
all both of their cars there?
No,
Whose
those
cars
are
are
Travis.
those are all his cars.
Travis. He's got 10 million in cars.
He liked them cars.
Okay.
Yeah, he got 10 million.
That's not Tech's
Okay.
thing.
No, Tech is not flashy at all. Tech probably sitting on $20 million, and Tech gonna have on a khaki suit. He's gonna look like a blood. You know what I mean? He's gonna have on a khaki suit, a red shirt. You know what I'm saying?
He's just chilling.
He's chilling. That's Tech. He's not flashy at all, but he got that cake.
Right,
You know?
right.
Yeah.
So
And then what else? So the cars.
Strange Box is the cars, but
Okay.
then the other Strange was where they manufacture, they print their own merch.
Right.
And they got the big old thing like, then there's another Strange, I forgot the name, where it's a state of the art sound stage.
So performing.
Yeah, and they got the green screen, they got all the lights,
The music
cameras,
videos and stuff.
and
Okay.
they have people like Taylor Swift and Lady Gaga and Rick Ross, and people come.
They come
through.
there.
Yeah,
Did he ever tell you why they even call it Strange in the first place?
Yes, because he had a publishing company. Tech did back in the 90s, or he probably still has it. It was Strange backwards. So whatever that is, that's what the publishing company was. And so Tech told Travis, one day I want to do a label, but I want to call it Strange, and that's my publishing company backwards. It was called whatever Strange.
I cannot pronounce that word because I'm picturing it, but I'm like, I don't know how to pronounce that.
Yeah. And for me, it because when I go places, and even me living in LA 22 years, when I tell people I'm from Kansas City, I say 6-7 times out of 10, they say, "Oh, Tech N9ne?"
Yeah.
Which is very, because I know how hard it is to make it out of here, and I knew how hard it was back then because I was a part of it, and so. To see when you understand business, then you're impressed.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When you really, because some niggas here be hating. That nigga don't got the, he ain't got the streets and he the white people. I'm like, bruh, do you understand the commerce and the business behind what he's doing? He's touring globally. They doing millions in merch a year. So that's cool. You can have from 12th Street to 75th Street, from Truce over to Van Brunt. You can have that. He'll tell you, he gonna get the rest of the world.
But even if he doesn't, sorry, babe. But even if he doesn't give, which I'm sure he gives back, but even if he doesn't give back, he is still here. So tax dollars go to this city.
That's absolutely
with
true.
all of the merch that people buy and everything that people come to him for.
His merch is worldwide, but yes, exactly.
You see what
they
I
bring
mean?
yes, the tax dollars they pay in Missouri, but not only that, he does give back. I mean, even getting he's done stuff with the kids. He's done that, plenty of that. But like I said, if you think Tech literally tried to bring everybody from his neighbor, he brought all the Bloods with him. He brought all the Road Dogs, Big Scoob, Snug, Scatterman, Snug Brim, BG Bullet Wound, Cut Calhoun, all these niggas Bloods.
And they work with him.
Yes, he tried to put everybody on. You know what I mean?
And he could have left here if he wanted to, but he didn't.
He absolutely could have.
Still can. And you got to understand, I've never seen nobody practice diversity at the level that he does with the people that he worked with.
Yeah.
I think that's so dope.
Oh,
that's the part right there when you're able to cross over and really, still be able to influence the people without no prejudice. Yeah. That's different.
Yeah.
And you ain't seeing nobody. And I know he went through hell to make that happen. Yeah. But look how it looks now. When you see him, there is no man got something with Eminem, but then he got a whole bunch of people on this label that's all different walks of life, bro.
Yeah. One thing about me, I always say, man, no, I tolerate no tech slander. You know what I mean? And this is the thing. I can only tell you a few of Tech songs. You know?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm a fan, but I'm more a fan
of the person,
the work,
the accomplishment,
the work. Yeah. And then on top of that, Tech is a great dude.
Yeah.
He's a great dude.
You can tell.
I mean? He's not no fuck nigga. He's got great energy. Great spirit. He always wants to help. He reaches back. He does features with artists. He don't charge them. He show up to your video, won't charge you. Have you, he's even let, shout out to Rob Lowe Star and Miss Cush. Okay. He just did a Chiefs thing with them, let them come out to Strange and shoot. So he's always staying tapped in with the younger generation and trying to, help them. So he does his part. So when people talk,
I'm not tolerating no tech slander.
How many acres is Strange on?
I don't know. It's a lot.
I know because it sounds huge, and I'm like, it has to be on acres of land.
So
I think I'm going over there tomorrow.
I can tell you this.
Maybe.
So when we left the main office, we had to drive a block or two. So it's a couple block radius.
Block or two.
Yeah, it's a couple block radius, and they're next to each other. And they got Strange car wash too. They have.
They got to have a car wash. You got $10 million cars over there, man.
Yeah, they got car wash. No. They get detailed inside. They have.
What are they doing with the car wash? Who come to the car wash?
The public. That's for the public.
They let the public come over there.
No, it's for the public. It's just owned by them, right?
And it's on their.
Yes.
Right.
Do people go there and wash their car?
Yes, they do.
That's hard.
Yeah.
But to be able to, people like privacy, but to have that open up where people can still drive in there, that's something else.
You can, and this is what I was asking Trav in terms of the relation of Strange music to Kansas City, because I was like, I don't understand the disconnect with the rap community here. I was like, damn, they should be out here lined up, beating down the door. But as we know, the Bible says, a prophet is without honor in his own country. Exactly. So which is, again, when you understand business and you're understanding what they've been able to do, it's fascinating.
Wow, man, I tell you, man, like I said, I can't wait to interview him. We're going to be sitting down with him tomorrow. And that, I'm getting all Kansas City, Missouri. It's going down. Boss Talk 101, we here. We pulled up. And I got the finest of the finest. All the dope people that you could think of that's going to be down here. Yeah. They pulled up for me, guys. I didn't even ask for this. Right. I mean, they just say, hey, E, you coming to, okay, we all going to be there for you. And I'm loving it.
You locked in. You locked in with the governor, as you said.
I got
the governor is here with me, baby.
So I got one more question.
All right.
Earlier you said, like, you donate, you help, with the football teams and so forth, and you don't want to let anybody know. But when is it okay for a person who like to give back and help people? When is it okay for them to let people know?
I think it's okay if it's organic and it's something some things are public, right? It's nothing wrong with that. But with in this scenario, these are just motherfuckers I know, niggas I know that are coaches.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. But I think it's okay if it's organic, because sometimes you have because at the same time they want to give you your flowers and show their appreciation.
Because you have some people who would twist it and turn, that
Of
already,
course.
and whatever may turn into something hateful. But at the same time, how I look at it is that if I do this, I might motivate other people to do that as well.
I agree. The only part that I don't like is when, it's situational, at least for me, from my vantage point. I would never, I don't care public or not. I don't ever want to put a camera on someone at their lowest point. You see what I'm saying? So if I'm giving money to someone that's homeless or hungry or, displaced families, man, we don't need no camera here, you know. But if it's something public, like the city is like, oh, you guys donated a check for, iPads or for the, school or something like that, I get it,
Yeah.
But I think when it's these intimate situations, no.
Kansas City is, what should I say? Like you can sell weed and whatever. It has dispensaries and stuff like that. But back in the days when you were younger, it didn't have that.
No, they didn't.
Okay.
They had me.
But he had him.
Right, but how has that, do you
Affected the
think,
economy?
affected the streets? Because the streets really, you have the illegal stuff, but then you can still go over here and go buy the legal stuff real easy, the same thing.
Yeah.
So are people on the street still selling weed, or?
That's a good question. I mean, what I can say, I don't
You want him to snitch?
right.
No, no.
You put him in a bad situation right there.
You can answer that without.
I wouldn't answer that.
I'd be like,
No, I can answer it. I can answer
yes,
it.
they are. I don't know who, but
I'm gonna be like,
One thing
whatever.
about no, these niggas still selling weed. Okay, yes, they are. But
The black market never goes
it
nowhere.
ain't never going nowhere, right? But I can say allegedly, right? Some years ago, probably, maybe within the last 10 years, it was good, right? But the margin of markup would be good. You can go to Cali, get something for, as they call rapper weed, for, I don't know, $2,200, $2,500. I don't know. It's what I heard, right? And you could come back here and maybe sell, you can
Double
put a
it.
stack. No, probably a stack, maybe $1,500 if it's real good, But what happened is a lot of people, for the dispensaries, and then as far as Kansas City, Colorado, Denver, they legalized it. So you had guys that was going over to Colorado. But I think the world got smaller. The guys that were really eating back in my day, were guys that we moved around. We had connects in on the West Coast, and we were just willing to travel and risk. Not we, but people were allegedly, they were willing to travel and risk it and get back with it. But the world got smaller. Everybody started doing it.
That's right. That's right.
You know what I mean? And then that on top of legalizing in dispensaries. So, I heard things that would, as I just said, that might have been a couple thousand back then. It's $800 now. You know what I mean? And I knew it was messed, or I heard it was messed up when you would get something in Cali for, $1,800, and then you come here and they right here telling you, shit, you could have got it from me. I got it for 15. What? You know what I mean? What? And it's better.
I was just about to say.
Yeah, it don't make dollars. It don't make sense.
That I heard about.
Right. I know, because the streets talk. People do say
talk,
stuff.
You know what I mean?
I always wonder about that.
Man, thank you so much, Big Court, man.
Yes.
I hope we did you justice, man. How can people get a hold of you, man, if they trying to reach out?
Hey, man. So listen, y'all can follow me on IG at I am Big Court. Tap in with Holdin Court Podcast on YouTube. Subscribe. Also, you can catch me, the audio, on Revolt. Go check out my new movie, or my recent movie.
I didn't know it was out
A Little
yet.
Piece of Heaven. No, not the one I just did.
Because that can't be a little piece of heaven, nigga.
Yeah, right. That look like
That's
some
a
low
lot
key
of it.
porn. Right? Hey, folks was hitting me like, man, you doing porn now? I'm like,
So who put this little piece of heaven out, and who's all starting?
so who's starring in it? Me, Jasmine Lewis from Barbershop, and then she played Ice Cube's wife. Then Travis Cure from The Oval. So we star in it. It's doing really well on Tubi and All Black. And the movie that's in post production now is called Interstate.
Wow.
That's the love scene one.
That's the love scene one. You know,
That's the one everybody's sitting there like, when is it coming out?
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. It's some deals that got offered because of that.
Wow.
It's some deals that got some big streaming networks hit Jasmine, because Jasmine was the director, right? And hit her like, hey, what y'all got going on? Like,
Wow.
Yeah, we want to see more, you know.
Right.
So yeah.
Hey, you never know,
There'll
man.
be a part 2 coming.
Part 2
Yeah,
coming
part two
soon.
I also want to say this real quick.
Go ahead.
Shout out to the homie Ice-T. Me and Ice-T, we partner.
Man, I could not do this without saying what up to Ice-T,
Yeah,
man. That's my
yeah.
boy. But all y'all have made that connection for me.
Yes.
I'm loving it, man.
Yeah.
I want to hear about that partnership.
Yes, yeah. So me and Ice-T, you know, we doing a partnership, and we created a streaming platform, an OTT platform called OG Network. And so basically, you know, it's OTT meaning over the top. So it's like Tubi, Netflix. And so we created it because we want to be a space for displaced content creators and filmmakers because of Tubi. You know, Tubi has done what they've done, and they've kind of made it hard to get on there. You know?
But it showed you that you can do it because they started from nothing really.
Exactly. But it's hard. But at the same time, you know, we have to have ownership. You know what I mean? Like we rent and we utilize a lot of different infrastructure, but we don't own any. You know, so that's why I thought, and shout out to Ice-T, you know, I hit him and was like, man, this is my idea. I want to do it with you. And, you know, he's like, hey, yo, Court, I want to be in business with you. You know what I mean? It'd be an honor to be in business with you, you know. So I'm excited about that. As a matter of fact, when I get back to L.A., I got a meeting with that tomorrow. Friday. So, yeah.
That's
so
hard, man.
With it, man.
That's what I like,
y'all
man.
be looking for
working. They working. I'm going to be on there.
Oh, for sure.
I got to figure it out. You know?
But it'd be only movies right for now,
it's
right?
movies.
No,
no.
It's whatever.
It's whatever. Oh,
It's
okay.
whatever I want
But
it
I'm
to
gonna be
It's
on that
content.
period. I'm gonna do me on my own show. That's why I'm gonna break
for
loose and do my.
I got my daughter. I'm producing Rachel Renee's show for there. Me
Okay.
and
what I'm
saying?
Glasses Malone got a show that we're doing for there.
Awesome.
You know
That's
what I mean?
hard,
And
man.
then-
Shout out to Glasses,
Yeah,
man.
shout out to Glasses.
Kendrick Lamar shouted him out.
Yeah.
I thought that
wait
was
till
dope.
people see the show with me and Glasses is bananas. But
What is it about?
so basically, it's if you take the energy of First Take, right, and apply that to the culture. So me and Glasses, it's called Agree to Disagree, and we sitting at a table.
He gonna be good at that.
Yes, very.
Because we went viral with the Drake situation. Me and Glasses facing off about everything in the culture.
Oh, yeah.
Who started horrorcore? Was it the Ghetto Boys? Was it Brother Lynch Hung? Or was it Eshawn?
That's gonna be real
you know,
good.
Yeah.
Who was better? Cash Money or No
That's gonna
Limit?
be
And he
real
was
good.
signing Cash Money. I was signing No Limit.
That's gonna be
You know
hard.
what I mean?
It's gonna be
so
good.
we at it.
That's
You
gonna
know
be
what I
dope.
mean?
See, that's that mess.
like that
I knew it
idea.
was coming.
Yeah.
There come the mess right now. You got to come back.
right.
Check it, man. Thank you for coming on the show,
Hey,
man.
I appreciate
We
y'all
love
having
you,
me.
brother.
Yeah,
you
likewise, I
family.
love y'all
It's
too.
been another great segment of Boss Talk 101, where the bosses talk.
And we out.
Man.